Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I want to briefly apologize that I haven't been able to post as often as I would want to. I'm onboarding with a new job and it's taken up a little bit more time than I'd hoped, and my days are longer. Yes, this is the campaign ship, the USS Laffey, a Allen M. Sumner destroyer here at Tier 8. We are on Greece, we are top tier, and we are the only destroyer on our team in a domination match. So it should be a good platform to show the Laffey's capabilities. Before we get started, I did some poking around on the internet. I found a great recap of the story of the USS Laffey on historynet.com. I will try to leave a link for you here in the video description for you to read it. 22 attacks from Japanese aircraft. Wild. Unbelievable. I could not find a good enough picture, not that you would want to find one, of the damaged ship. After all those attacks, mainly the pictures I saw that were of good quality were close-ups of turrets being destroyed and stuff like that. So I opted for a clean photograph. But yeah, the pictures of the damage are out there. But I strongly encourage you to read the link at historynet.com if you are at all interested in the story of why this ship is famous and why it's in the game. I'll just say that I personally was hoping for the USS Johnston as a Tier 8 with maybe unlimited main battery reload booster or something. But that being said, this ship is fine. And to be quite frank, I haven't really had a game that really blew me away with damage, output, and anything like that. And I'm not saying this game is going to be like that either. So here we are in Alpha Cap, almost no support. We were spotted, presumably through the little mouth in the island over there. There's someone out here, and it is the Kitakazi, the other destroyer, who decides to shoot at me. Well, he catches me in the rear and disables my rudder. So that's something else I need to mention. My build does not have unstoppable. So I dump one set of torps in front of him, not realizing where he was at the time. Second set is into his position. We are being probably sonared by Kitakazi, so I'm going to do a big loop here and try to get free. Of course, that didn't work. Now we're set on fire. The Harbin pushes in, and our second set of torpedoes catch the Kitakazi. So if you become myopic in your pursuit of the enemy destroyer, you may end up dead, which is what happened to the Kitakazi. I engaged my smoke now that the radar is down. I'm asking anyone to help me, but there isn't a lot of help. All right, so we're going to be doing this ourselves. So far we've used one of every consumable. There's the Harbin trying to creep all the way around the island, with the exception of the DFA, which we don't really need. Because there are no carriers in this match. I'm trying to go over the island here, managed to do it with a couple of shells, and get the cap reset flag. One hit, one reset flag. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm not happy at the level of support from my team. I'm not saying that's going to be a recurring issue throughout the video, but it might be. Here, maybe thinking the Harbin was going to push out. Here he just stupidly makes himself known. I just can't believe that. Now, I made myself known because my smoke screen gave up. But it's going to hurt him a lot more than it is me because he missed me. And I got to shoot him a bunch of times. All right, somebody's got a plane in the air. Very damaged Bismarck coming in. Maybe that's why my teammates haven't been supporting me. They've been shooting at Bismarck. I'd think about torping the gap and decide against it. We don't need DFAA because the AA on this destroyer is really good all by itself. We're going to talk about how the AA on this destroyer was nerfed, and I don't personally agree with it, but it was nerfed, and we'll talk about that in a minute. All right, and when I say in a minute, I mean in the ports. All right, Harbin is still out there. The Bismarck got killed, so basically it's me versus the Harbin in my mind. And he looks like he's coming back this way. So check out the maneuverability. We do have to mess with our propulsion here to fit it in. I want to say, I think this destroyer is 620 meter turning circle. So we're getting every meter out of it right there in that turn. And we've got all the turrets aligned up over here. And I think I'm going to switch my shell type here in a minute. I originally thought the Harbin was just going to come back hard in, and we're going to change to armor piercing. And now it looks like he's coming around the mountain. I'm trying to turn. I was hoping to be able to get torpedoes off, and the Harbin sees me way before I see him. That's bullshit. We launch 2 sets of torps. And check out the armor piercing, ladies and gents, as we hit another smoke screen. I got 7 hits the Citadel against the Harbin. He breaks, but not enough. Dev strike. Kill number 2. Dev strike number 2, pardon me. First dev strike was Kitakazi. So we got first blood medal, 2 dev strikes, 2 kills, 7 Citadel hits. And now I have the ability to capture this cap circle. Uncontested, basically. Still asking for help because there's a sconson out here. And we're going to go into our smoke screen. I got 32 seconds left as I get the solo base cap. And I'm going to start farming damage from Wisconsin. And that's exactly what you should do anytime you're in a unlimited smoke screen from the Laffey. As you can see, the aim is a little off. I'm going to eventually adjust it to where it should be, but I'm still getting hits, so I guess that's why I was waiting on doing that. I really would like to set him on fire at some point. And don't know what I was doing there. Oh, I thought, my smoke screen ran out, but the Harbin has a smoke screen there. So I'm like, I want this kill more than I care about my health. So even though we're spotted, I'm going to continue farming damage from Wisconsin. And he shot at me, so we start accelerating, and he misses, and we get our 3rd kill. All right, look, a teammate finally showed up long after the base was capped. All right, so now we're going to go move over to Bravo. And right now, the teams are pretty evenly matched, 4 kills each. And we have a slight deficit on points. Peter Bags, I just can't get any shells on target there. I was hoping to pick up a cheap one, and that's not going to happen. So right as we come around the island, Peter Bags is going to get killed. And I want to mention, I don't think I'm going to have a lot of time to discuss the history of the Laffey. So again, I've just left... or plan to leave that link in the comments. The Laffey, Allen M. Sumner class destroyer constructed during World War II, commissioned in 1944, the 2nd ship of the Navy to be named for Bartlett Laffey, who was awarded the Medal of Honor. The ship that would not die during the D-Day invasion and the Battle of Okinawa, the most unrelenting kamikaze air attack in U.S. history, or just in history, I guess. It is a museum ship at Patriots Point, Charleston, South Carolina. So also disappointing that when I was down south, I didn't get the chance to get out to Patriots Point. But if you do, this ship is there, along with, I think, maybe the North Carolina. So definitely something to watch out for if you're in the area. All right, I thought Missouri was coming around the island. Missouri did not come around the island, but Missouri's radar did. So we got that going on. So I'm going to back up, and I'm going to turn a little bit, thinking Missouri's going to come around the island. And coming around the island is also Scotty. And Wisconsin, which I just reviewed last week, is he's kind of going fast. So I get rammed by my moron teammate, and I am actively trying to maneuver out of this, and he is turning into me, preventing me from maneuvering away. I'm going all ahead full, and I'm cranking my rudder to the left to turn right into him. And he has me pinned here, and he's purposefully keeping me in front of him as a blockade. So I'm just going to launch some torpedoes to try to protect myself. Finally, he puts on the brakes because he's a pussy. And we are going to do a little bit of farming of Wisconsin. I actually was not intending to run away here. I needed to get free of that ship. If you're in a battleship and you do that to a destroyer, that's fucked up. All right, we did put down a smoke screen. Again, not for the battleship, but for myself. But I am spotted, and I realize I'm spotted because Missouri came up in a pincher maneuver. I won't have torpedoes for a significant amount of time, so I need to get out of here. And I think Missouri thought I was going to ram him. No, Missouri, I am not that stupid. So this battleship, which tried to use me as a way to soak up damage, got himself double teamed from both sides. So that's what you get, I guess. If he had left Wisconsin to me and handled Missouri, we could have had a totally different outcome here. So I just think that's really dumb gameplay from the battleship. Maybe I'm wrong. Please tell me in the comments. We're just getting frittered down by occasional secondaries, and I am farming as hard as I can from Missouri because I don't have a torpedo reload for a while. And so this is literally all I can do to help myself, is just spamming HE without the benefit of a smoke screen. We've used both heels. The second one I think I used by accident. The battleship gets killed, and I am aiming bad again. Thankfully, I'm getting a little bit of help from off screen, but we are going to farm Missouri to death, and we're only going to take a little bit of damage from that last salvo. So that is kill number 4. Catalunya, all right, originally I said a little bit of damage. It turned out to be more than that. So we got Musashi out there, and we got Catalunya. Catalunya is the ship that I need my teammate to kill, because Catalunya can detect me. And I like to think that I can handle a Musashi at relatively close range. Now, a weakness of the Laffey is that it has slow torpedoes. 66 knots with my build. Maybe I wouldn't use Space Fishy as a inspiration, because you shouldn't be focusing on torpedoes with Laffey. You should be focusing on guns. So the torps don't do a ton of damage, relatively speaking. I think it's under 17,000. So compared to the Japanese at this level, you're doing about 5,000 less damage. So Musashi is there looking kind of sloth-like, and I was like, is Musashi that fast? Is it even trying to do anything? So here I don't go into the cap, because I don't want Musashi to realize where I am. I know he knows sort of where I am, but I want him to not specifically know where I am. So I didn't go into the cap. I launched a second set of torpedoes, and now I put up my smoke screen, and I probably shouldn't have done that, although I felt I had to, because my concealment is only 5.5 with this build. So here's where I made the mistake of using my smoke, because he's going to turn in and he's going to dodge all of my torpedoes. And now we're visible, and I'm going to be dead soon, and my last salvo doesn't really even do anything. All right, so who is left on the blue team? One ship. He is in C1 on your mini-map. His bow is facing the border of the map. How exactly is he contributing to the battle at C1? Oh, well, he has no kills all game. Shocking. How is the Turpits in C1 contributing to the battle that's occurring in E and F 5 and 6? You tell me. So we're going to lose this match, and I don't agree with the way the battleship who rammed me into the Bravo Cap. I don't agree with his decision making. I certainly don't agree with the map hucking battleship's decision making. But at the end of the day, if you said describe to me the Laffey, I would say it's a gunboat with some weaknesses like torpedo speed and no speed boost. I don't believe it has a speed boost. All right, here we are on the defeat screen. First blood medal, 2 devastating strikes, 94,923 total damage, 237 main battery hits, 2 torpedo strikes, 4 kills, technically a crack and fail, 7 hits to Citadel, 2 cap defended flags, 1 solo base cap. We ended up with 472,089 silver and over 4,000 ship XP and commander XP. 3 medals, 4 kills, 2139 base XP at the top of the board. Mr. Map Hugger did not have a single kill in the match. He is not the worst. The worst is the aptly named PlayStation user, Dang It Brian, in Wisconsin, who did almost nothing. So, yeah, this is my best match so far in the Laffey. We got the ability to farm damage. We fought other destroyers. We fought a cruiser. We fought a battleship. We've killed one of every ship type. I mean, I thought it wasn't a bad match, so that's why you're seeing it. All right, back to the port to take a look at the ship. It is a premium ship here in the upgrades. AA Guns Mod 2 in slot number 1. Propulsion Mod 2 in slot number 2. Concealment System Mod 1, after this brief message from Wargaming, in slot number 3. And Main Battery Mod 3 in slot number 4. And because I have enough steel, we're going to upgrade that right now to the Epic Mod. All right, in terms of loadout, you got HE, AP, and regular torpedoes, unlimited charges of a damage control party, 2 charges of a repair party. I was right, no speed boost. Unlimited smoke generator. It lasts for 60 seconds, and it reloads in 114 seconds. 3 charges of DFAA, the rare battle booster, the Type 9 permanent camouflage, and the Laffey flag. I really hope this isn't the Laffey flag because it looks kind of lackluster. Just being honest, I would have 23 zeros on that thing or whatever planes they shot down. All right, 18,500 is the base. With our build, we have 20,350 hit points, 40% fire resistance. Main battery, the 3 twin 127mm turrets, 11.2 kilometer firing range, 2.7 second reload down from 3.5 base value. 7.9 second turn time, that's up from 7.2 base value. Shell grouping of 2, no changes in the dispersion. HE shells do 1,800 max damage with a 5% fire chance. They pen 21 millimeters of armor. AP shells do 2,100 max damage. They pen 218 millimeters of point blank range, 49 millimeters at max range, and the arming threshold is 21 millimeters. All right, moving on to the torpedo launchers. 2 quintuple tube launchers, 8 kilometer range at 66 knots, takes 2 minutes and 20 seconds to reload. Max damage 16,799. The detectability is 1,400 meters. All right, moving on to the AA. All right, allegedly your best AA is the 20mm Oerlikon guns, which do 93 damage per second. Your secondaries are dual purpose and shoot out to 6 kilometers. But the guns that have been nerfed, in my opinion, if you look at every other U.S. warship, at least the battleships, the 40mm Bofors Mark II only do 56 damage per second on this ship. And I think that's bullshit. They nerfed that. Why can't I have a destroyer with 99 AA value aside from the Friesland? All right, max speed 36.5 knots down from the base value. Turning circle 620. Rudder shift time 3.4 up from 3.1 base value, and a significantly increased engine power multiplier based on the propulsion mod. All right, moving on to concealment. 5.5 is our value. Don't know what the base is. Maybe 6.7. 3.1 from the air. 2.6 when firing from smoke. Take a look at the stats. I've played 5 matches in the Laffey and won 2 of them. Main battery accuracy 52%. Torpedo accuracy 6%. Averaging 1.2 kills per match and 57.6k damage. The last match you saw was our best match, except for the max XP. And we've killed most of our kills by guns, although torpedoes and fire also helped. All right, nothing special here in the armor viewer. Take a look at our build. Vincent Mordoff, base trait, minus 6% main battery reload. We got Eric Bay, minus 4% detectability. And a fully maxed Ding Rushang. So a total of 10% of main battery reload time, 10% reduction between the base value and the inspiration, plus another 5%, so a total of 15% from Observant Rage. All right, look at me now, 6% detectability minus, plus the 4% from Bay, so a total of 10%. I'm comfortable with that. I went with Twist and Track. I know a lot of people say you should always use Perceptive, but I wanted that. Maybe the most overpowered destroyer skill right here, Sheltered Arms, the main battery, and the launchers cannot be incapacitated. And we went with Leviathan as our legendary skill, plus 10% hit points, and then when in effect, reduces incoming damage, gives a huge boost to rudder shift. So that is the Laffey, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed this video. Love to hear your comments down below. I'll see you next time.